My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawenga-Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Taviuni South requests assistance to rebuild seawall. Tourism development plan to boost industry. And Southern Lao Group to receive assistance this week.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
A primary school in the south of Taviuni is requesting for assistance in rebuilding of their seawall. Eleanor Turangai View reports it's been 2 years since the seawall was destroyed.
South Taviuni Primary School is situated just about 20 meters from the sea. The seawall that used to stand here is now no more. Only these rocks now act as a barrier to the waves.
The sea was about 50 meters away from the road. But sea level rise, you can see that it has really come in.
This is all that remains of the 500-meter seawall that was built in the late 60s and early 70s to protect the school from the waves. It now lies in ruins after it was destroyed by huge waves during tropical cyclone Winston in February of 2016.
If the seawall is not done, very soon we can see the waves coming in. The road as well as our school will be full of seawater.
There are fears the students are now more exposed to the rising sea waters, swells and rough seas during unfavorable weather conditions.
When the waves get really strong, these rocks can start flying into the school like bullets. Just look at these rocks, and the waves that always come in are huge, and this is not easy for us.
The school management knows it is costly to rebuild the seawall, which runs for almost 500 meters in front of the school. They are requesting for any sort of assistance that can help keep their students safe from the waves and out of harm's way. Eleanor Turangibiu, FBC News.
More than 60 government officials left for Southern Lao today to assess damages caused by Cyclone Gita earlier this week. The 7-day tour will also include food ration distribution as well as other assistance to the people of Onoi Lao and Vatoa. Alikimbia with more.
Government officials who departed Suba this morning have been tasked to hold Talanoa sessions with affected villages in the first wave of assistance to the Southern Lao Group.
More than 60 government officials that will be going. So as Ono is quite far from Suba, what we intend to do is not only people will be taking rations and doing assessment, but providing the service that they mostly need at this point in time.
The Divisional Planning Officer for the Eastern Division says food rations will only be taken to Onoi Lao and Vatoa. However, assessments and consultations will also be conducted in other islands in Southern Lao.
Okay, it's Onoi and Vatoa, because this is where the Cyclone Gita's path is on. So it's Onoi and Vatoa, based on the information that we receive from Turangkor and the Matantikin. Whereas the other ones will be conducting assessment, and the issue of rations will depend very much on reports given by agriculture officers.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama says Fiji is lucky to be spared from the brunt of the storm's wrath.
We were blessed to be spared the brunt of the storm, but as it turned off our shores nearly 2 years to the day from the horror and devastation of Cyclone Winston. Fijians were reminded of the force of nature's fury that we are all familiar with.
The distribution of food rations and other assistance is expected to begin on Wednesday. Alikimbia, FBC News.
A more robust and sustainable tourism plan has been set up to bolster our tourism industry to reach another new level. While revealing details of the Fijian Tourism 2021 development plan, Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama says they have assembled these plans to complement Fiji's National Development Plan. Alikimbia with the story.
Speaking at the annual Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards in Denarau last night, Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama says the Tourism Development Plan sets out priority areas that will strategically bolster our tourism industry in a way that allows Fijians to see the most benefit.
My real pride comes from the tens of thousands of hardworking Fijians whose livelihoods are directly and indirectly tied to tourism. The tour guides, the maids, the nannies, the cooks, groundskeepers.
Bainimarama says the government is dedicated to spreading the good benefits of a tourism-based economy to other parts of Fiji that do not directly benefit from the traditional mainland tourist arrivals.
We are also broadening our approach by looking at new ways of providing support to micro, small and medium-sized tourism operators throughout our maritime and rural regions.
Plans are also in place to enable the industry to strategically identify ways to remove as many barriers and inconveniences as possible. The Fijian tourism industry will create the foundation to allow more resorts of all sizes to attract more tourists to more remote parts of Fiji than ever before. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the ANZ Fiji Excellence in Tourism Awards for the first time honoured not one, but 3 individuals with the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award last night at the Denarau Convention Centre. Captain Matereti Tuisue, Jenny Sito and Patrick Wong were awarded the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award, while the late Tuilawa Ratu Savinaya Vatunitu was also remembered and honoured with the Visionary Award. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama presented the Lifetime Achievement Awards to the 3 recipients on the night the tourism industry came together to celebrate their achievements and excellence.
Very honoured actually. It is a great award and to be amongst those who have been given awards in the past and today as well. It's certainly a privilege for me to be in this particular category.
It was also a time to honor those that have excelled and contributed to the tourism industry last year.
One thing for me that I always like to advise all the chefs that make sure that you're determined, make sure that whatever you do from your heart, and make sure that every meal you serve to the guest, is top quality and is from your heart. It's not something that you are putting on the plate just for sake.
Tourism is being able to inspire our international visitors to think about Fiji, and we see a wonderful platform here in Fiji.
The first ever Hall of Fame award was given to Likuluku Lagoon Resort, who had been winning accommodation luxury for 5 years in a row. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Air Terminal Services Employees Trust Chair Jayadhir Singh has been charged with contempt of court for a statement he allegedly made during the ATS strike saga. He was served with the court papers last week Friday at his home in Sydney and is now calling on the support of the ATSET members. And despite the legal action, he continues to make statements that he has to date not proved. Akasita Tale has more.
And every piece of paper is in here.
It was at this press conference where the ATSET chair allegedly made allegations against the judiciary, saying it's controlled by one minister. Today, Jayadhir Singh said he stood by his statement despite not having proved his allegations.
All of the judicial department is controlled by one minister. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Is it true the minister controls the Justice Department, Minister of Justice? Is it true or not true?
FBC News this week received a copy of an ATSET bulletin which shows the ATSET chair calling on its members for their support to stand by him as he stood by them during their time of need. When questioned by FBC News what he meant by this, he says the call was to remind workers to remain united.
And this bulletin is telling them that united behind me is you have one voice to look at what's happening to the chairman of the trust. And that's how it is supposed to be seen. Become united within the workforce and for the betterment of ATS itself.
Singh says he will fully defend his case, which will be represented by lawyer Aman Singh. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Still to come, false claims made by consumers are concerned. And we meet one of Taveuni's biggest Yangona and Dalo farmers. Stay with us.
Bula, Keron Mai Singatoka, Keron do Talita Canavarong on the radio Fijian and the Moiviti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita na radio Fijian kena Domivi.
Yang biasa silil tali, negara ramai nama mani, nandunga. Gitu talita jadi yang gitu kena sebalik pun mengguntur rongo, barong na radio Fijian nandu Moiviti.
Na radio Fijian nandu Moiviti na ponga ni BNN.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party's manifesto is in its final stages of compilation. SEDELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka says it's currently being edited by its executive members before it's finalized. He says they have been formulating the manifesto over the past few months and it's expected to be launched soon. Rambuka says the manifesto is most likely to include combined policies of previous political parties.
And out of that falls the SEDELPA manifesto, which is taken on from the previous manifesto of the of FDL, the SVT, the Alliance government, all about good governance for all the people of Fiji.
Some complaints received by the Consumer Council from the public has been labelled as false claims. Chief Executive Pramila Kumar confirmed in many cases consumers don't fully provide information required for evidence against traders when they're clearly at fault. Kelly Vadala reports.
The Consumer Council receives thousands of complaints annually, amounting to millions of dollars, but they have to be cautious when dealing with some of these cases.
They do not disclose all the information. They will only tell us what they want to tell us. And they'll try and hide the key information where, in fact, it's the consumer's fault.
Kumar says consumers who make complaints have to be fair and know their rights come with responsibilities as well.
We do have consumers who are not honest, and they will only focus on their rights but not their responsibilities.
Meanwhile, the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission say they will continue to strictly monitor sales and stocks of businesses and is advising traders to comply.
This is the busy season for us. We go out and we ensure that we are inspecting shops, we are attending to complaints, we are looking at prices, especially price control items, food items.
Over $1 million worth of complaints by consumers were received by the Consumer Council over Christmas, New Year and the back-to-school period between November and January 31st last month. The Council is urging Fijians to call the Consumer Helpline on 155 to launch complaints if they have any honest grievances. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission Director, as well as the Media Industry Development Authority Chair, Ashwin Raj, says journalists need to be able to speak truth to power. Raj says as the Fourth Estate, journalists must ensure they base their stories on facts. He made the comments after the recent detainment and questioning of the former publisher for Islands Business Nitani Rika, its Managing Director Samisoni Paretti and their staff writer Nanise Valau. The three are believed to be behind an inaccurate story on the contract termination of the presiding magistrate in the ATS workers case. The three have all been questioned twice by police and are continuing to be investigated for breaching the Public Order Act.
The journalists have a very, very critical role to play. They are the important interlocutors between the public and institutions of power. And they need to be able to do their work without fear of reprisal and recrimination. But that power comes with a lot of responsibility. And you know, this is a sad indictment of the fact that journalists are still failing to realize what their responsibilities are.
Digital technology and social media has had a significant impact on our culture over the years. USP's Pacific language lecturer Vilimaina Navila says more young people spend time online to keep up with westernization, which has led to them swaying away from their own tradition and culture. Kelly Vadala reports.
Most Fijians are being influenced by information on social media, and there are plans to take advantage of this by sharing the importance of our culture and history online.
We are living in a digital era. If all this cultural thing could come online, because most of the time our children and even students, they are always on the gadgets. So why not share that knowledge online?
Fiji Museum Director Cipriano Nemani says they are looking to involve more young people in activities at the museum, as well as implement more cultural programs in school.
Fiji Museum at this stage is working on its draft museum education plan of action, which basically rolls out and trying to link our communities and young people especially in museum work, in our history, in our heritage.
Meanwhile, during the first Commonwealth Association of Museum Workshop in Suva this week, participants highlighted how the younger generation are becoming too modernized.
I believe that everyone should know where they come from in order to, be firm with their identity and to always have that civic pride in them.
The Fiji Museum says it's very important to share our traditional knowledge and practices online to give Fijians a brief understanding on how culture can be sustained and passed down to our future generation. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Work hard for what you want in life, because what you want will not come easily to you. That's the motto of our successful Fijian for today, which he lives by, who has been farming for about 33 years now. Eleanor Turangeview caught up with Lakshman Naikar, one of Taveuni's biggest Yangona and Dalo farmer.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Farming is the main source of livelihood for communities in South Taveuni. 55-year-old Lakshman Naikar is one farmer in the community at Ndalaivuna who plants and sells Yangona and Ndalo.
All the education was primary in South Taveuni Primary School. After that, and I went to secondary school in Holy Cross. That time was very key secondary. It's now Holy Cross. And I went to the Form 5 and 1 year in Form 6 in Nisawa Methodist High School. And till that education, we had not enough money. My parents were poor. And after all, I came back home and came to my family and engaged started my farming.
Naikar started farming Yangona and Dalo at the age of 22, learning the ropes from his father, who was a farmer himself.
I had a good experience. I had education from Queensland, offshore, certificate 3 in agriculture courses. And from there, and I learned much about agriculture, planting Dalo, using fertilizers, chemicals. Then I followed the standard of farming and I improved my farming, and I became a good farmer for my area.
Around 18 years ago, Naikar decided to go commercial with his Yangona and Dalo, selling to traders for the export market. He built his first home with the money from his first transaction with the traders.
At that time, the price of Yangona and Dalo were very less. So we never had we were not at a maximum commercial farmers, but we were planting little just to subsidize for ourselves, to get food and ration, just for transportation, whatever we can live.
Currently, Naikar has about 4 acres of Yangona and 3 acres of Ndalo ready for harvest. While the current Ndalo price is low, Yangona sales is at its peak. He currently earns around $500 a week.
Working so hard to let the young people learn from me what at this age I'm doing and whatever I got in my farm, so that they can learn. Why not we young people we do? But today young people are too much drinking grog, sitting down, they don't bother.
Naikar has 2 sons and a daughter. One of his sons is helping him in the farm along with 2 other laborers.
What you can get out of farm, you will not get anywhere. So you engage yourself in farming, that's more than what you're gonna get in working. And quick, and the fast money will come in the farm. Rather than working for 55, what you will not get enough out of.
Naikar plans to hand over the reins of his farm to his son when he retires. But for now, while his legs can still carry him and his hands can still weed and plant, he will continue to do so. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Ahead in sports, Wardens crown Nasinu's 7th champion. And Singh challenges local boxers. Details after the break.
Moala rada ranavika, o tikongona taunu singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na serie.
Yadora subuni kurnambili. Iborani batukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na waronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na serie. Bula!
Bull FM, number 2 na serie.
Wardens are the winners of the Ramsamy Nasinu Rugby Sevens tournament after defeating Tamandamu 12 points to 7 in a hard-fought final at Ratu Kambal Park in Nosori last night. Wardens scored 2 tries while runner-up Tamandamu scored 1.
Tamandamu, they will throw the long pass, Dangunu in the middle, and then Naituivau, and then out wide is Silivanusi Gavindi. Pass over the top, Ratundamu into Tandulala. Tandulala runs straight. Good work by Tandulala. He puts the Wardens on the front foot. Ratundamu takes it away from him, and Asisela Ratundamu big. They dive over the top of the Tamandamu. Picked up well by Samuel Mbale, and Mbale sees the gap up front open, and Mbale will run away. Mbale will get the try in between the sticks. Samuel Mbale.
Meanwhile, Wardens coach Sailosi Naitenge believes their teamwork resulted in their victory at the Ramsamy Nasinu Rugby Sevens tournament last night. The side has overcome all odds to finish on top of the standings at the tournament. Melita Vanga reports.
The Wardens Rugby Sevens side hasn't had a good start at this year's rugby season, which is the Natakal and Coral Coast Sevens tournaments. However, last night's win was a huge achievement for them.
A very tough tournament for us since we've been down for some time. For the Wardens team going down, losing to the quarters, to the series, going down to the plate. But today, congratulations, boys, for going through and taking the trophy today.
Wardens and former Fiji Sevens rep Chochi Rangamate says the win is something they are proud of.
It's been a while, Wardens haven't made a name for taking some trophies, but our game plan, we stick to our game plan, and we are just to keep our defense right and do the basic things right.
Runners-up Tamandamu coach and player Nasoni Rocco thanked his young team for playing their hearts out.
This final is history for us. We won final last week. We play Natakala Sevens, and tell the boys, the history has been made, and today the history has been made. We've been come so far. The boys are doing their dads.
Wardens walked away with $5,000 prize money, while Tamandamu took $3,000. Meanwhile, Fijian one was crowned the winner in the women's category after beating China to 21-10 in the Cup final. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
Rising welterweight boxer Sebastian the Sniper Singh says he's ready to take on local boxers who have challenged him. Singh was reacting to critics after an easy 4th-round knockout win over Jomyut Sornarongshai of Thailand in Lami on Friday night.
Sebastian Singh has been challenged by unbeaten Silveni Nawai, Ronald Naidu and Abe Chand of Molo Boxing Club in Nandi. The Sniper says he's ready to take on any local boxer that wants to fight him.
All those boys who has been challenging me, all the boys from the western side, Abe Chan, Nawai, Ronald, welterweight, we can do it whenever you guys ready. Promoters ready, stage is ready, commission's ready. Are you guys ready? Because I'm ready.
However, the Sniper says he will only fight them if they make it to the welterweight category.
I can't be jumping weights and expect to dominate the world. No, it doesn't work that way. I need to dominate one weight before I jump onto another. So I'm at the welterweight. All 3 of those guys, if they could make the weight, we could dance anytime. I'm ready.
Westwood boxing promoter Pranil Das says he's looking to host Nawai and Singh in his next promotion.
Maybe in the future, if both parties are willing to fight, we are ready to host a event, and most likely at the moment, in my point of view, I'm looking at Silveni Nawai and to take on Sebastian Singh.
Fiji's welterweight title is currently being held by junior the Reza Farzan Ali. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
The Lions got their 2018 Super Rugby campaign off to a winning start, beating the Sharks in a pulsating clash 26 points to 19 at Ellis Park in Johannesburg this morning. The Lions scored 4 tries, while the Sharks replied with 3 tries. It wasn't the same for Stormers. They hung on for a hard-fought victory against the Jaguars in front of a disappointing crowd at Newlands. The Stormers won 28 points to 20 after leading 15 points to 6 at half-time. Roy Krishna's Wellington Phoenix defeated Perth Glory 2 points to 1 in the A-League match. Glory defender Shane Lowry scored an own goal in stoppage time to hand Wellington just their 4th win of the season. It came from Krishna's sharp cross, marking a brilliant return for the Fijian international, who had missed 3 games while in an apparent dispute with his club. Mostly fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today, with some showers and isolated thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. A trough of low pressure lies over the eastern parts of Fiji and is gradually moving west over the group. The associated cloud and showers affect the Lau group and is expected to affect the rest of the eastern parts of the group from tonight. Now in the west, it was cloudy with some sun this afternoon. However, it was scorching hot with soaring temperatures at 32 degrees in Nadi, Lotoka and Ba. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, similar conditions prevailed in these areas, with Suva still the hottest at 32 degrees, while other centres were much cooler at 29 degrees. And up north, it was sunny in Savu-Savu and Nambawalu. However, Lambasa, despite it being a cloudy day, was the hottest centre at 33 degrees. At sea, east to northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate northerly swells. For the tides, high tide tonight will be at 7:54 with low tide at 2:05 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be at 6:05. Occasional showers and few thunderstorms over the Lau group is expected from tomorrow, and cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, showers becoming frequent and heavy from tonight. As for the further outlook, it will be cloudy in major centres on Viti Levu. However, to our friends in the north, expect sun with hot and humid conditions. Recapping the main stories, Taviuni South requests assistance to build a seawall, tourism development plan to boost industry, and Southern Lau Group to receive assistance this week. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we are asking, should those caught vandalizing FRA properties be fined? Visit our FBC website to answer. Or you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।